Previously, on Maxed, the concept of setting a world record in RuneScape has been something on my mind for the past month. On September 13, 2018, I achieved 99 agility on my Oldschool Runescape account with Zayla, an achievement that by itself is impressive to most players who find the skill difficult to train due to the reputation that comes with it, but an achievement that becomes more unique and improved when you compare it to the 99 agility that I had beforehand on World 45 Deadman mode. You see, I don't want my world record for agility to be my last for this year. I want to become the first player to achieve 99 in a seasonal version of Deadman mode. So, on the previous episode of Max, we begun the journey to achieving the max total level of 2251 in the seasonal version of Deadman mode in an attempt to become the first player in Oldschool Runescape history to have the maximum total level in the Deadman season. During that time we got into a lot of scraps with other players looking to get hold of my bank key. We won some fights and we lost some others. This was even me falling for a bait early on into the seasonal when I ended up losing everything. We would later actually recover to PK the rank 1 player on the high scores for that season at the Woodcutting Guild, and I ended up even surviving a 3-on-1 all by myself, which I was quite happy with. If I was a slightly better PK, I could have even took down 2 of them and might have even have killed the third if it wasn't for my garbage clicks. In the end, we did end up getting killed on the 3rd week for one of the biggest bank keys for that season. This isn't the death itself, as I actually didn't have my Contagia up to record the death as I wasn't expecting to die, but I did end up getting dropped by someone in max gear with a Vestige Longsword who basically 2-hit me if I remember correctly. After that death, I quit the season rank 2 on the high scores, and when the season ended I remember I fell down to rank 3 behind Ankudu and Autistic, who I'd been competing with all season. If you didn't catch it earlier, Ankudu was the person I PK'd at the Woodcutting Guild. Playing that season wasn't about high scores or PKing for me. It was about learning how to skill and working out how to achieve 99s and rarest skills, as well as calculating how long it would take me to complete certain quests, accumulating resources, and how to survive without dying and losing everything that I would need to achieve my target. I didn't get the max total level of 2251, but with everything that I learned during the last Deadman Seasonal for 2018, I gained a lot of experience. Sometime in the future I will use what I learned to get the 2251 total level, and perhaps when that time comes around, Jagex might do the smart thing and lift the experience caps on combat skills after the first 2 weeks. But seeing as the 2018 winter seasonal ended and we take a leap forward into today where we shall return to the main server of the game, we can return to the max grind on Zayla. But before we jump into that, today's episode of Maxed is being brought to you and powered by my Patreon page and my BitTube and Oldschool Wiki channels. Patreon is a service where you can pledge $1 to me a month to help support the channel financially. Each contribution made to my channel on Patreon does a lot towards helping me create more content on the channel, and everyone who becomes a Patreon of mine will be credited at the end of each episode of Maxed. Another way to support the channel is through BitTube. BitTube is a video hosting platform that was created to help its content creators and audience generate support through cryptocurrency. By downloading and installing the BitTube app, you can mine cryptocurrency by watching videos and streams across YouTube, BitTube and Twitch, which then can be used to tip the content creator that you want to help. Downloading and installing the BitTube app is completely free and safe to use. You can find the relevant links for my Patreon, BitTube channel, and a link to download the BitTube app in the description of this video. We also have a sister channel to this one called the Oldschool Wiki. It's run only by me at the moment, but will be a channel dedicated to bringing articles from the Oldschool Wikipedia to a video essay format. Instead of spending time away from the game to look up and read long articles about the information you need, you can simply find what you're looking for on the Oldschool Wiki channel to watch and listen about what you want to learn whilst playing the game. You can find a link to the Oldschool Wiki alongside all my relevant links in the description of this video. So the last time we left off on the main game I had just achieved 99 agility, and after a long grind spending hours a day running around the RD rooftop course, I decided that I wanted to do something that wouldn't need my complete concentration. So I decided to head over to the Myth Guild and start my 99 cooking grind. I already had the cooking gauntlets from completing the family crest years ago, and I used them to cook a bunch of sharks all the way to 99. This didn't take very long to do, and I was 99 cooking within a few days after starting. As I was cooking sharks in the Myth Guild, I put a bond on my alt account with Pure and set her up in full obsidian, a Berserker necklace, and the supplies that I'll need to let her AFK her melee stats in the Stronghold of Security. Now, the most efficient way for me to train combat stats on this account would have been to set her up in the Nightmare Zone, but I did have my reasons for bringing her here to the Stronghold of Security instead. You see, on the second floor of the Stronghold there is an NPC called Flesh Crawlers. Among their drops are Rana Reeds, Nature Runes, and most importantly, the Bottomless Scepters. A Bottomless Scepter can be used to create the Skull Scepter, which can be used to teleport right to the entrance of the Stronghold of Security. Bottoms of Scepters can also be used on the Skull Scepter, as I'm demonstrating here, to recharge a Skull Scepter by giving it 2 new charges that can be used for additional teleports to the Barbarian Village. You can only recharge a Skull Scepter if your account has an Authenticator active on it, as well as a pair of fancy or fighting boots that you can obtain from the looting chest on the last floor of the Stronghold of Security. When you show the Skull Scepter and either of the boots to Soulston on the 4th floor, he will imbue the Skull Scepter. Without this, the Skull Scepter would degrade and eventually destroy itself when the player uses its last charge. Now, the reason why all of this is important has something to do with an update that I and many other players in the free-to-play community are eagerly awaiting for. It has been suggested by the free-to-play community that Jagex allow pieces of the Skull Scepter, such as the Bottom Scepter, to be turned into bone dust. The idea is that when a player loots one of the Skull Scepter pieces, they can then bring that piece to Soulston, and he will turn it into bone dust, which will become a stackable tradable item. Players can then either sell the bone dust to other players for profit, or the bone dust can be used to recharge a Skull Scepter. I am anticipating the release of the bone dust update to free-to-play for my free-to-play only account Exule. If you didn't know, the fastest way to achieving 99 runecrafting free-to-play is by creating body tiaras, and the fastest way to the body altar is by using the Skull Scepter to teleport to the Barbarian Village, and then from there running to the body altar to make your tiaras. But because Skull Scepter pieces are currently untradeable, this method of runecrafting is niche, and anyone who's going for 99 all in free-to-play are only going to get a certain amount of charges for the Skull Scepter before hitting 99 in combat skills. It works out that even if a player was to get 99 in attack, strength, defense and range on Flesh Crawlers, you still wouldn't have enough Bottomless Scepters to recharge your Skull Scepter to get 99 runecrafting with body tiaras. But if Bone Dust does come into the game, then the player could theoretically buy recharges for their Skull Scepter, or alternatively they could have more than one account farming recharges in the Stronghold of Security. So this is my plan. By setting up my ult in the Stronghold of Security, I'm going to collect Bottomless Scepters in the hope that one day I can turn them into Bone Dust, and then transfer the Bone Dust from my ult onto my free-to-play only account. Then I'll be able to use this transferred Bone Dust to start running body tiaras. I believe this is an efficient way of using my time, as whilst I'm grinding for 99 ore on Vizela, I'm not going to be playing my free-to-play only account much, and I'm going to need this ult to have combat stats to kill rune dragons, which I discussed in a previous episode of Maxed. Before the Pua essentially became my Bone Dust ult, I had her ranging Skeletal Rivens, and managed to accumulate 12 mil worth of loot. This cash allowed me to buy the supplies that I needed to get 99 farming. With 99 cooking, farming done, and my ult set up to collect Bottomless Scepters for the next couple of months, I could finally return to grinding Slayer. A few hard clues here and there from various tasks Duradale gave me didn't turn up anything interesting or worthwhile, but I'm going to try and do as many hard or elite clues as I can, all the way up to 99 Slayer. I also ended up using all my Marks of Grace that I had saved up during my 99 agility grind to buy around 12 mil worth of amylase, which gave me a nice bit of money to buy supplies with to continue doing Slayer. I also got a nice Berserker ring from a Dagnov task, which was useful. The next episode of Max will be out on the 5th of February next month, where we'll be picking up from where we left off on this episode with my Slayer grind. In the meantime, next week we will be beginning another series on this channel, and I've made this teaser for you to see what it will be about. Enjoy, and remember to check out all the relevant links to this channel in the description box down below. See you next week folks, and thank you for watching. In the north of Gillinor exists the most dangerous area of the game, the Wilderness. It's a place where thousands of players die every day, and among the dead lay hundreds of hardcore Iron Men who dared tempt fate and risk their status to the whims of dreaded player killers and dangerous bosses that only exist out here in the Wilderness. It is a place where no hardcore Iron Man is supposed to go, but there is one who dares call the Wilderness her home.